Guys, what's going on? How's it going? Thank you so much for tuning in. At this video, we're going to take a closer look at the new Odroid Go Advanced Handheld. This is available on a website called hardkernel.com. I'll put a link below. This retails for $60 US, not too bad. And it comes in pieces. You have to put it together. I did a review on the original Odroid Go handheld. That's shaped more like a original Game Boy. This is, to this name, to its credit, this is more advanced. You can play more emulators on this thing, and this is what it does. It's an emulator handheld. Pretty cool. So I just want to share with you what this capability is. It's a really cool project. Like I said, it comes in pieces. You got to put together. I did my Odroid Go. I put that together myself. This, shout out to my friend Kirk, aka Cubert Addict 1 here on YouTube. I'll put a link below to his channel as well. He helped put mine together, and he put the theme and all that good stuff together as well. So shout out to him, but let's take a closer look and go from there. Thanks. Okay, let's take a closer look at this bad boy. This is a 3.5-inch screen. It's LCD screen. It's about 6 ounces in weight, so it's a good size. It has a good feel to it. It doesn't feel too cheaply made. It comes with 4 buttons, so it comes with A, B, X, Y. They're set up just like Nintendo would have it set up with Y, X, and BA being opposite. You have these action buttons here below. You hit these 2 buttons on the far left and right to escape the game. You can hold this button here up and down to adjust the volume. It has a pretty good output for volume. There is one speaker there. You have the D-pad as well as analog stick. Something also different with this one compared to the Odroid Go is that you have extra buttons. So you got the X, Y buttons. You also have these shoulder buttons here. These 2 new ones here are also new. You have, let's see, audio jack here. This is a USB-C port. Let's go back. A USB-C port. You can use that to charge, which is different. This USB port here is to, if you have like a keyboard or maybe a mouse, you can add that to as well. You get the power button here. I like to shut it off by just going to the menu here and going to shut down. That's probably the best way to do it. You can power it off like that too. But what else you got? You got this kind of slot here. This is for like devs. If you have like a dev kit, you want to create some games, etc. That's what that would be for. This is where you put the mini SD card. And right now I have a 400 gig one. I think they go up to 512 gigs, so they go up to pretty cool. This is like what they call Aurora Black, but it's kind of transparent. You can kind of see the battery there. They do have more of a transparent one as well available. So if you prefer that over this one, that could be an option as well. Okay, so this is using Retroarch, and the theme is called Solo. It's designed by Alec Full. There's different folders here. So the arcade folder, each folder shows you obviously what games are in each folder. It's just laid out really nicely. This is arcade classics, for example. I have 1,975 games, so it says it right there, almost 2,000. So A to advance, and it shows you can see games are listed alphabetical. It shows you a preview of the game you're going to be about to play, synopsis, who designed it, who developed it, published it, a little paragraph or so about the game itself. Let's go hit A. This is Cadillacs. Check it out. See how quick it loads. A few seconds. Hit this button to select. This is up to a 3-player game. Obviously, you can only play 1 player at a time here. Kind of reminds me of Final Fight a little bit. Classic Capcom beat 'em up. Got jump. You can put input. You can different options here. To exit, you can push both these buttons here. Exit. Let's go back. That was Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, by the way. That's what it was called. Atari 2600. There's one game I do want to show you. And to skip down faster than just scrolling through all games, you hit these shoulder buttons here, the inside ones. So I'll show you one. This is a homebrew one, kind of cool. Came out several years ago, and it's pretty rare to find because they got sued by Nintendo. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I think I passed it. This is it. So check this one out. Princess Rescue. This is Mario Brothers for the Atari 2600, and it kind of blows me away what they could do with the Atari 2600 here. The music particularly sounds just like Mario Brothers. Look at it. Oh. Considering the limitations of the system, as the Atari 2600 right there, Got pretty crazy. It's got the scroll and everything. The turtles. Anyway, I think that's really cool. Let's go back. 5,200 games, 7,800 games, links. I love the links. You got different ones. This is a really good one. Batman Returns. I was one of the first owners of a Lynx when it first came out, and I actually had this game. The Lynx is one of those systems you can like flip, go play upside down as well for left-handed people. This game was always super hard. All right, so yeah, it's got several of those games. The ColecoVision, which is one of my favorites, of course. BC Quest, those are classic. Dreamcast, it plays Dreamcast okay. There is some lag with some games. Let's check out Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and see what... There's no preview here, but let's go check it out. I was playing Sonic Adventure earlier, and it played decent. It's cool to play Dreamcast on the go, on the mobile, so that's pretty cool. And it helps having this analog stick here. That's definitely nice. And it loads quick, which is great. So you can kind of see a little lag there. Let's see if I can fix the volume here, make it the loudest. Yeah, you can hear the audio is a little slow. It's playable, but definitely not ideal for that particular game. Let's check out another example here. Sonic Adventure 2. Let's see how this runs. A lot of times it just kind of depends on the game. I do miss the Dreamcast. I remember picking it up when it first came out and just falling in love with it. It's crazy. It's 21 years old now. Let's try to skip this. I love the first adventure, Sonic Adventure, but the intro you can't skip, and it takes a while to get through that. So yeah, this is definitely much smoother. And I'm using my joystick here. Oh. Yeah, so that's a good example of the Dreamcast playing on this thing. So it's a pretty powerful little unit. I've got Famicom games. Surprisingly, I don't have any NES games on this thing. I could load them on or add them on, I suppose. But I do have quite a few Famicom games, Disk System games, Game & Watch. Let's check out Game & Watch. These are classic. I've probably a dozen of them, probably a dozen of them. Let's check out a game you guys would recognize. There aren't just Nintendo ones. There are other... Here's Mario Brothers. They just appear really small on a tiny 3.5-inch screen. See that? So I'm this guy. Oh. I'm supposed to catch these, the cement here. Oh, I see. Okay, control here. Okay, I'm not. And I pass it to this guy over here. I see how it works. And it gets faster and faster. So you have to kind of multitask. Okay, yeah, I do remember that game. Cool. Okay, so you have that. You have Game Gear, of course. Game Boy looks good. Let's check out Castlevania Adventure. I think this was the first Castlevania where they had like a fireball whip. Might be wrong on that, but I think I do recall that. It's got more of a white finish opposed to the kind of a pea green yellow kind of. You can change it, I'm sure, but puts out pretty good output though. You can use either the D-pad or analog stick on these games. I know it looks like it's playing slow, but trust me, that's how the game actually played back in the day for the Game Boy. So love me the original Game Boy. It's definitely classic. Game Boy Advance. I have over 1,000 games on here for that. So again, quite a few. These don't appear to be in alphabetical order or anything like that, so it makes it a little bit more difficult. But check out F-Zero. Super quick load time, like less than a second. My camera is not focusing very well. That's the camera causing that. The design of this system actually reminds me of a Game Boy Advance, right? If you haven't played these games for F-Zero games for the Game Boy Advance, definitely check them out. I'm a big fan of the original F-Zero, and these are kind of sequels to those. Got the music. Pretty awesome. Okay. Focus. Okay, there you go. I got some Game Boy hacks, Game Boy Color, over 500 Game Boy Color hacks. Genesis hacks, this is in Television, Master System, Mega Drive / Genesis games. Alphabetical order. Apple Adventures, funny. Cool spot. It was kind of a fun game, kind of using the 7-Up logo guy at the time, right? I just enjoyed the graphics of this game. So they throw bottle caps. Yep, plays great. I got all this media player too, which is cool. So remember the original Starcade? Kirk added these to this, which was pretty cool. So check it out. Came out in the 80s. So this can play media too. The other Game Boy or the other Odroid Go could not play any media. You can also play music, MP3s on here as well. You can skip through the songs. So when you're in the menu screen, I don't have any music playing because of copyright reasons. I could get a flagged for that, but pretty cool. So I just want to make a point. It does play media, and you can skip songs and stuff. Got the MSX, MSX2. So let's check out a game here. The first Metal Gear game came out for the MSX, which is cool. In fact, let's see if we can go to it. Show you Metal Gear, the first one. Kind of reminds me very similar to NES or Famicom graphics. Maybe a little bit better. it's in English too, which is interesting. Again, you can use both, either pad. I prefer D-pad in classic games like this. Maybe the sprites are a little bit more sharp on the MSX compared to the Famicom. Slightly. You got the N64. I'll check out a game here you guys would recognize. Only a handful. Again, there's some frame rate drop issues depending on the game you play. These games on here, I think for the most part, work fairly well, but you know, there's some games, just so you know, not all N64 games will work, or they'll lag a little bit. First game with Charles Martinet, his voice, in a Mario game. God, this game brings back so many memories. Being blown away. When I bought the N64, I got the system, I bought this, I bought Wave Race, all at the same time, and just remember falling in love with this game. And the point of this game, when you go underwater and you're swimming around that level there, just really, still today, kind of blows my mind graphically. I'm like, how can you get any better than this? Obviously it has, but as a kid, this came out in '96, so I would have been, you know, 14, 15 years old at the time. Yeah, it was classic. Games like this really got me into gaming for sure. This game alone, I think, would probably be my top, oh man, I don't know, maybe top 25 games of all time, this game right here. But you can see it's really plays really well. No lag, which is nice. Really sharp graphics, colors. And the nice thing, you have like the Z button here. So I like the Z button, so. There it is. Yeah, it's this left one here. There you go, see? So, all right, let's go exit this. Battery life on this thing, by the way, up to 9 hours, which is awesome. It takes 2 to 3 hours of charge. If you're playing it and charging, it'll take a little bit longer. But yeah, 9 hours of battery life on this thing, which is awesome. So, Naomi, this is basically a kind of arcade version of Dreamcast. Let's check out. This is really fun. Shmup. Takes a little bit longer to load. On the Odroid, not the Odroid Go or this, but the Odroid Dreamcast will work great. I have one. I've done videos on before. Let's add some credits. I love these Japanese shooters because the music, when it's loading slightly, you can hear the music a little bit, kind of like skip there and there. But let's see how it plays. It plays smooth. I'm just holding the button here down. This is a, you know, vertical. I prefer the vertical shooter as opposed to like the going left to right, like R-type style. So much in the background going on though. Beautiful. It almost, the screen almost doesn't do it justice because it's such a small screen, but this is a really fun game. Got my special weapon there. Yeah. Anyway, check that game out. It's called Igaruga. Neo Geo. I have Neo Geo Pocket, Neo Geo Pocket Color. Here's Baseball Stars. A lot different than the arcade, right? The Neo Geo. And a lot different than I used to play the NES one all the time, Baseball Stars. Okay, I just want to play. So it kind of reminds me of Game Boy Color. Got a little bit more colors than Game Boy Color, I suppose. I'm batting now. Got a little more colors than Game Boy Color would, but less than the Game Boy Advance, right? So less than the Game Gear. So it's kind of cool. All right. When I picked up my Neo Geo Pocket Color, I got like a bundle with a bunch of games for it. You know, there was a Sonic game for it as well. There's different ports here. You have Diablo, Doom. These are different PC ports. Rick Dangerous, Sony PlayStation Portable. Some of these games play pretty well. There can be some some lag. Let's do Little Big Planet. Let's check this out. It shows you the frame rate on the top corner there, 30 frames a second. This can also play, I've seen videos, this will also play PlayStation 1 games. I saw someone playing Final Fantasy 7, for example, on it, which is great, and it played well. So that's good to know. I don't have any PlayStation 1 games on this, but I haven't played Little Big Planet for a long time. A lot of loading. A sock person. So it's playing about 30 frames per second. I'm not really noticing anything affecting gameplay wise, so that's pretty solid. On the Odroid, we can get it to like 60 frames per second, but this is a handheld, so not too bad. Let's see. These are like point and clicks SC3000, which is this came out kind of right before. This predates the Sega Master System, right, in Japan. It's almost equivalent to like ColecoVision graphics and stuff. Very comparable. So let's check out a game. In fact, a lot of homebrewers are porting some of these games over to the ColecoVision because the color palette and everything is very similar. Very similar to ColecoVision. It's got that pastel color, the kind of color palette, which is cool. Scrum VM would be like the point and clicks. I don't have any games right now at the moment, but that would be like your Day of the Tentacle, games like that, you know, King's Quest games, Sega 32X, Sega CD. Let's check out one of my favorite games of all time for the Sega games anyway. This is Sonic CD. Oh, I went to the options there by mistake. You know, a lot of the games for the Sega CD got slack because they felt they were just ports of the original Genesis games with better sound. But let's leave it here for the music here. I love, this Sonic CD is great. The music's great. See if that's max volume. I think it is. So let's see. There's no volume control menu on there within game, but once you get back, you saw that earlier. All right, I could just jam out to that. 93, wow. So I was 12 years old when this game came out. Here it is. So you got the headphone jack, so I could just rock out with my headphones too. No delay. Let's skip this. But not only is the intro awesome, this game in general is great. So let's check a new game. I think there's an introduction to Metal Sonic, I believe was introduced in this one. Yep, anyway, you guys get the idea. Let's see, you got the setup here, and I think that starts as the Super Nintendo, and then you got Super Graphics, TurboGrafx 16, I got 95 games, TurboGrafx CD. I've got TurboGrafx 16, TurboGrafx CD. Let's check out TurboGrafx 16. Let's check out Airzone. This is just one of my favorite games. It's a great shooter. Part of the Bonks series. Also came out for the CD. This is also on the new TurboGrafx Mini, which I have, which is great. So, okay. Virtual Boy, interesting. Virtual Boy. Let's check out. This is a rare game. Not going to be in 3D, obviously, but it will have like the red color palette because I think there's more shades of red than any other color. I own this game. I have a complete Virtual Boy physical release games out there. I'm missing a couple Japanese ones, but US release have them all. This is probably the most hard to find US release. I think Waterworld's up there too. So the goal is kind of looking top down. You'll see in a second here. So the goal is kind of get from each platform to lower, and you gotta get a key, you gotta avoid enemies. Collect all the keys, and when your goal is to appear to jump down, the only enemies here is Slime. Defeat him quickly. Okay. So when you're playing this on the Virtual Boy, it looks really cool because it's got a cool like layer effect. I got a weapon here. I'm not even quite sure what this game sells for now, but it's hundreds of dollars. It's pretty rare. The music sounds a little off to me on this. I got all the keys. But it plays alright. It plays good. The sound system for the... Jump down. Here we go. See? And there's like boss battles and stuff too. It's pretty fun. Really fun game. WonderSwan Color, Sharp, all games, favorites, and back to arcade. So overall, that's kind of the overall of the Odroid Go Advance. Thanks for watching, guys. Leave a comment below. What's some of your favorite games? What are some of your favorite systems? Leave recommendations below. Appreciate you guys subscribing, of course. Thanks for liking this video, and we'll see you guys soon. Take care. Game on.